talk about the city of Pittsburgh and his legacy and his families, and it's a great, great listen. He's a really fun guy to be around, and we're glad to be able to watch his team tonight.
And very enthused about playing back in his hometown again.
I could have given away 1,000 tickets.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
That's
He has
exactly.
enough ties that want to come back and see his team play, and they are underway at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse. Right away going down low, and a great start for the Ospreys as they begin with a dunk. As Jaden Parker gets on the board first for North Florida.
Comes in averaging 8.7 out of Charlotte, a returning starter.
And our first look in person, Ellis, at Brewer running the point. We didn't get to see him because of that appendectomy. A lot of talk around Pittsburgh about appendectomies lately.
Yeah, it's to come up now and then.
Dixon with an air ball, and right away a good battle underneath. And that ball's a tie-up, so it'll stay with the Dukes, as Trey Williams was fighting hard underneath the glass and did a lot of that against Colgate. He was very impressive against Colgate, 7 of 7 from the floor, and also did a good job on the boards as he got 7 rebounds for Duquesne.
It's good to see him again. He had a season in last year, I believe, with that knee, if you remember.
And Day Grant beats the buzzer. Picking up where he left off against Colgate, picking up where he left off when we first saw him in Game 1 against Montana, where he was perfect from the floor here at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse.
Yes, Miami of Ohio started 84 of 87 games there, so lots of experience at Miami of Ohio and production coming in averaging a little over 16. And he's a difference maker. Going back to the North Florida head coach Driscoll, he talked about this guy as one of those guys you need to have at any level in order to get to the next level. And so we're going to be keeping our eye on him, obviously.
He said Day is that dude. We definitely saw that when Josh Taylor and I were here working the game for ESPN Plus in the opener against Montana, where he was 8 of 8 from the field and perfect from three-point line and perfect from the free throw line as well. But North Florida converts on its second offensive possession as well, as you saw Hicklen go to the hoop and get a basket for the Ospreys.
Of course, from Dallas and through Oklahoma Baptist, again, one of the guys we've really been focusing on in our pregame prep.
Trey Williams likes to go to that left hand and hit the box, a little high on that release.
Good follow-up, though.
Clark guarded by Lanier. That's a good-looking matchup at the top of the arc. Good feed underneath to Williams from Grant, and Williams converts. High to low, and Duquesne ties it up at 4.
It's his 11th assist, Day on the season.
Quick trigger, halfway down for Placer. Clark coming in 1-on-3. Euro steps it, finds the soft spot off the backboard and the rim, and Jimmy likes it. Now Hicklen, watched by Clark, brought a lot of the good VCU defensive presence to Duquesne. That shot is good from the outside, from distance.
Wow. Again, he comes in, he averages 34 minutes a game, which leads the team. His three-pointer is 7 out of 23, so he's picking that up right now.
Hicklen with 5 so far. Good pass from Dixon. Pull up from Williams. Follow from Dixon underneath. Got too far under the rim, though, and it's taken away by Lanier for North Florida. Austin Rotroff set to check in. He was excellent coming off the bench against Colgate. I think that's why they decided to stick with that rhythm, E.
Right.
As good as he was, there's plenty of thought that he might start today, but they wanted to keep the rhythm of Rotroff coming off the bench and give Dixon some burn in the starting lineup. But, boy, somebody's got to get out and guard the outside shooters for the Ospreys because they are taking wing fast. That was Lanier.
Play and spray. We talked about it earlier. Another perfect example of it being done this time by North Florida. And he's hot. And everybody knows it, so he's going to get fed.
Good eyes to Dixon from Grant. Everybody left Dixon all by himself after he gave up the ball. Day Grant will draw some attention. 2 men went to him, but nobody picked up Dixon underneath for the stuff.
And Dixon only a freshman. He impressed in that first game, as I mentioned, just the other night with those 3 blocks.
Rozier sits come in right now for the Dukes, too. Ronski as well. Mass substitutions early for Keith Dambrot. Step back three-pointer. Off the rim, no good from Carter Hendrickson. Brewer tried to fit one into Dixon. Good steal, though, underneath, though, from Parker. And then returning the favor is Clark. He got in the passing lane.
Excellent defense, had his hands up.
No numbers. He'll decide to pull up for the three. Rebound by Dixon. Using those long arms that he's got, but again, gets too far underneath. Williams will give him a second chance. Dixon and one. Big man to big man. And Dixon continues to contribute early in the paint. We'll be back, and he'll try to get a three-point play. Tim Benz, Ellis Cannon with you. A good start for both teams. 10-10, North Florida and the Dukes, right here on ESPN+.
Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
I love how
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
I love how
I got a dog.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
with my
I got a dog.
Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season.
New York Life's product isn't something you can touch or click on.
Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
I love how
Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
Cricket is easy, it's affordable.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
Cricket is easy, it's affordable.
What tools do you need to make your holiday magic? Well, trees.
Nice start for both clubs, brought to you by Cordia. We're back with a break in the action on ESPN Plus and LSUC, the coaching staff and the Ospreys from North Florida. Matt Driscoll, the head coach who we talked about in the Open, the Northgate product, Bellevue product. We asked him, since he coached at La Roche, were the rims always as tight at La Roche when you were coaching there as everybody seemed to complain about when the Dukes were playing there, when the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse was being constructed, when they were refurbishing the A.J. Palumbo Center? They were there for 2 years, and it was a tough place to shoot.
Woo.
And his very candid response was, no, they weren't that tight. They were tighter.
Right.
Because everything was brand new then, and it took a while to get them broken in, at least broken in to the degree that the Dukes had when they were playing there.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of my three sons, maybe two, played in that facility many times growing up. And Ilya, in particular, my oldest, is a shooter, didn't have good visits up there. A lot of that same thing with the tight rims.
I think everybody was convinced the radius was, or the full circumference, rather, was an inch and a half smaller than it should be. And Aronsky with the steal for Duquesne. He's going to play a lot of the four now that Brewer is back, and they have Rozier, and the numbers are thin up front. Rotroff, triple pump. And Austin Rotroff continues to impress off the bench this season.
Well, we want to knock on wood because he's had injuries, but boy, when he has been healthy and focused on the game plan, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, it's just that he has a role right now, and I think you hit it on the head by saying they like him coming off the bench.
Well, pocket feed now kicked in the corner. Rotroff, 7.3 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game.
Played here for quite a while now, 65 career games.
Placer runs into traffic from Rotroff underneath. And a third effort tipped in. They wanted offensive goaltending. Abar may have gotten away from one. The Duke's bench sure thinks so.
Forward out of Kissimmee, Florida, with the basket, tip, or whatever it was.
Day Grant, the pass off the Euro step. And the fine three from Clark. Boy, good work there from Grant to shake with the dribble, get the passing lane, open it up, and hit Clark on the wing.
Tim Benz, I'm loving the ball movement. I'm loving the pace. I'm loving this game. I mean, I'll tell you what, Duquesne really looks confident moving the ball around for a team that is just really not getting to know each other, but certainly not as experienced together.
Rotroff draws the contact and hits the basket.
Nothing on the floor, just took it straight up as he should.
Placer drops a dime and a finish +1. Abar with a spark off the bench for the Ospreys.
Boy, and I tell you what, I love the guard play right there. That's a young man who's able to kick it out and do a lot of different things. We look at his numbers, and they certainly validate all of that. We're going to watch right there. Look, a bounce pass, no less, from underneath. Sweet by Placer, who I will tell you is an assist guy as well, as you probably just were able to determine, but he's had some turnover issues this year.
Abar can't convert as Dixon did coming back from break. Right now, 4 of 6 from the floor for North Florida, 5 of 10 for the Dukes. Working it around to Grant. Quick trigger. Off the side of the rim, no good. Excellent rebound by Rotroff as he reached around with the left hand and picks up the foul on Abar.
Well, you're right about Day-Day. He does not hesitate. He gets it, he shoots it. A lot of experience there with him, as we pointed out, and I think folks are about to learn a lot about him. About 1,200 points, as a matter of fact, when he was at Miami, and a real good get through the portal for the Dukes.
Clark out, McGriff in. Pronsky to Grant, quick to the dribble.
Oh, man.
Rises, elevates, no good, and the rebound is pulled away by UNF's Dorian James.
What I loved there was getting to his spot, and he did it with alacrity.
Placer with the drive. Up and good.
Was it no doubt
Ran the
drive.
curl, finished the play.
That's exactly right.
Now Day-Day will slow things down for the Dukes. With his own look for North Florida, and it's taken away by the Ospreys. This is Oscar Berry in control of the basketball from Melbourne, Australia. Entry pass, and that's going to go off of the intended target, Abar, and it'll go over to Duquesne. Hendrickson will come back in right now for UNF, and Placer goes out. Kareem Rozier's handling the point right now for Duquesne. Gets the pass back from McGriff. We're going to see Dixon come in at the next whistle.
Certainly a lot of touches for a lot of players early on for Duquesne.
Grant from way outside. That one's short, relying on the rebounding underneath of Rotroff. And the ball did not go out of bounds. North Florida stays in possession. Hendrickson working on Grant. This is an interesting matchup here. Abar doesn't want any part of the three. Into the corner. Off the back rim, no good. With Oscar Berry triggering from the corner. Now here's McGriff. And he threw it to no one in particular. I think he thought that Rotroff was going back out towards the wing, and that's going to be a turnover to UNF when we come back. 18-18, Ospreys and Dukes here on ESPN. Plus a break in the action brought to you by Cordia.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic. Especially at the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic. Especially at the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic. Especially at the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday gift-giving magic for all those. What tools do you need to make your holiday magic? Well, trees. At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic. Especially
being the best takes hard work. It takes early.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic. Especially at the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday gift-giving magic for all those. At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday gift-giving magic for all those.
At GIA, we are trusted to grade.
What tools do you need to make your holiday magic? Well, trees. What tools do you need to make your holiday magic? Well, trees. At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday gift-giving magic for all those.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
Cricket is easy, it's affordable.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will.
Think you can take down a Heisman legend? Prove it at theheismanhouse.com.
North Florida shooting 60% from the field and 50% from three. Good job on the board so far for the Dukes. They got 6 of 9. They're shooting 61% as well. Yeah, I can't argue with the shot selection and the shot execution so far, Ellis. I think at times maybe that's been wobbly for North Florida when it comes to the shot selection. And you talked about in the open, hitting the open threes when they're there. They've done a good job creating better, easier shots for themselves to execute. But when they've had the opportunities, they've cashed in, thus keeping it close so far.
And, Tim, I tell you, the other thing is they've been able to drive and convert. But, yeah, they love to be able to hit the three. As a matter of fact, that's in their DNA. They've now gone 783 games with a three, so consecutively. And that's just, as I said, that's what they do.
Barry passes out of the double team that he got from Grant and Dixon. Now Hendrickson can't find any room. Good entry pass, though, and a block from Dixon. 3 of those against Colgate. First one tonight.
It's an excellent block.
Horosky, fast break. Tipped up by Dixon and in. Oh, the big man running the floor. Does he get a secondary assist for himself, Ellis?
I don't know. He's from Memphis, whatever that has to mean.
Oh, might get a steal here, too. No, it's going to stay with North Florida. Gotta love the effort and the hustle from both big men. Got to be careful with how assertive they are in this game because of the depleted numbers, the foul situation
True.
and whatnot, but they are playing with abandon so far, both of them, Dixon and Rotroff.
Well, when you look at Dixon, I mean, he turned 19 a couple of months ago. Think about that. 6'9" freshman, as I said, out of Memphis.
Hendrickson, now watched by McGriff. Perimeter defense in the last couple of possessions has been pretty sticky for Duquesne. This is an intriguing man-on-man battle to watch, too, tonight.
Yes, sir.
And maybe that battle got a little too sticky.
Yep.
For McGriff.
Yeah, damn
right on cue.
Yeah, right on. I mean, I'm looking at Hendrickson, and he's been a couple-time preseason conference player, so he knows what he's doing. And you take a look at him, 6'7", 217. He could play inside, play outside. He's not shooting it so hot early on this season, including from three land where he's only 24%. But he's going to get his game rounded up. As a matter of fact, he made his 200th career three against Gonzaga in Game A.
Placer, that one's no good. Rebound by Clark. Oh, lost it, though. It's going to stay with the Ospreys. You know, you've mentioned a couple times already, Ellis, the rather familiar names that UNF plays to start every season. Last year, Kentucky, UCLA, Arizona State, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Gonzaga, Washington so far this year. Those last two teams, Gonzaga and Washington. This is very similar to what we talked about at the end of our football broadcast for Duquesne when it comes to scheduling the big conference schools, what you got to do for the bye games, things of that sort. And it's tough to coach through that for these guys. It's tough to play through that for some of these players.
Yeah, and boy, we'd have seen that. Certainly Duquesne football, challenging themselves early on with a couple of FBS
Florida
games.
State.
Yeah,
Hawaii,
and North
TCU
Florida
last year.
North Florida's done that. 88 straight games, has played, 88 guarantee games during the experience with Coach Driscoll.
Very nice entry play with limited time on the shot clock to Jaden Parker. That was well drawn up and well executed as well by North Florida.
Yeah, they're well coached, and I love the experience. You talk about having those games, that only adds to it, but they have a lot that came back.
Brewer knifes through, lobs it to Dixon. Didn't have any real estate, knocked out of bounds by UNF on the far side. Goes off of Placer's hands. But I think Driscoll didn't quite say it as directly as Jerry Schmidt did to us during the football broadcast or before the football broadcast. But, it's hard to evaluate. It's tough for the kids to feel how well they're playing. You've just got to have confidence that they're going to see the big picture like the coaches do. The coaches have a little bit of an easier time doing that. There's a great steal at center court by Clark. Lost the dribble, though. Gets it back. It's put back by Dixon. He's had some success with that so far. Fighting hard, and now the Dukes will reset. Clark will drive. Oh, tries an acrobatic dunk, but misses it. That could have been quite the payoff to a crazy exchange, but it doesn't go into the hoop. Baseline drive, and there's a foul underneath on Trey Williams. Wow, that was a wild sequence.
There's been a few already, Tim, and absolutely right. I love the athleticism I'm seeing out of Duquesne. We're going to watch right here, and there's the foul. Williams, he's been a very, very consistent guy, came out of Indiana State to this program. And if I could finish your point there as it relates to what the Ospreys are doing, it's pretty obvious. 76 times they've had Power 5 games. In other words, they've had 76 games against Power 5 conferences. And again, you could do that if you're able to what Coach Driscoll said to you, which is you got to keep the big picture in mind, but you can't ignore reality. And that is a fine line. As a matter of fact, listening to him reminded me exactly what we talked about with the football end of it. And, that, again, I think half these guys ought to be sociologists or psychologists as part of the job description. And
from a Duquesne perspective, similar reaction from Keith Dambrot, too. You go on the road, you play at Rupp Arena, you take on Kentucky, you lose 77-52. And I asked him, what was your big takeaway from that? He goes, I thought we shared the ball better.
Yeah, right. I wanted to get to that, and I've seen that right in front of me, and I've seen it since the game began. I do think that that's one of those things you could take away. And quite frankly, it's pretty easy to see if they do or don't.
Brewer with the hop step, floats it up, gets the kind roll. And for Brewer, that's his first basket of the game.
Yeah, a lot of anticipation about him coming back.
3 ball, lots of rotation, perfect spin from Hendrickson.
Exactly the words I was going to say, so I'll just pass. I mean, you could just see it. It was beautiful. Nice look.
Dixon takes a step back, calm release. Oh, that was halfway down. Nice shot from Dixon. Didn't get the kind iron that Brewer did, but that was well executed.
I agree, and the fact that he, I liked his form and didn't rush it, created space. This guy intrigues me here, 15.
Placer now kicks it back out. Abar, who's done some good thing in his minutes. No look, maybe a little too fancy on that pass. Clark pushes the tempo. Day Grant stops, pops, off the front rim, no good. That's James with the rebound for the Ospreys. Now Placer, good body on him, fends off, tied up on the way to the hoop, and this will stay with North Florida when we come back. Staying close, North Florida out in front, 25-22. Good action here in the first half, steadying in a little bit, but still plenty going on between the Dukes and Ospreys. Back in a moment after a commercial brought to you by Cordia, creating energy solutions.
Our joy to help you discover what you're good at and why that's good for the world. We want you to become a problem solver who thinks bigger, who is driven by compassion and empathy. Together, we will work towards achieving your goals and a greater sense of purpose. We're ready with an education that's everything you need and more than you imagined. It's time for bigger goals. Duquesne University.
Every school teaches the basics, gives out homework, and prepares students for life. But at the Summit Academy, we hold ourselves to a higher goal. We ask more, instill a deeper sense of pride, and challenge students to achieve the kind of success that they never imagined possible. If you have the passion to change lives, we are currently hiring teachers, drug and alcohol counselors, and therapists. The Summit Academy. Join us and make a difference.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. Zero compromise.
As Western Pennsylvania's largest regional public accounting firm with local ownership and management, Schneider Downs gives you the global ideas your company needs right here at home. Schneider Downs. Big thinking, personal focus.
Can you imagine if your kid was in here fighting for their life or going through what they're going through? You know, we gotta kind of leave our stuff at the door and remember why we're doing this. At UPMC, we're changing people's days with what we do. That means everything.
Duke's cooling off down to 40% from the field after a really hot start for both clubs. Duquesne won for its last 10. And they've had some good looks. Had that wild sequence after the steal at midcourt from Clark that went askew, and that didn't help the field goal percentage numbers. But I still think they've got to like the execution that they're getting to get the ball at or near the paint to Dixon especially.
Yeah, I think that, again, their ball movement has been outstanding. That's absolutely not an issue to me. I think that issue, the question of connecting and converting, that's obviously something that has to come along with it. But they're not denying themselves the opportunity. Here's one.
Corner three, another well-drawn-up play out of a timeout, out of a dead ball in the offensive end for North Florida. Give 3 points there to Hicklen.
Well, he came in 30% from the three, and I think he's already got 3, does he not?
Yeah, he's up to 10 points already. Left elbow Williams. Tries to make a move. Puts it in the corner to Clark, will drive baseline. Grant gets his man up in the air. Eyes it and nails it. Hey, day.
Well, I'll tell you, and you heard Coach Driscoll say it, he has great confidence, borderline on cocky, and I tell you what, he is not afraid to forget the last shot.
Step back, right leg goes up, lean back on the left. That shot's good from Hendrickson.
Remember, he was 16.8 rebounds against Gonzaga. He doesn't have a rebound today after leading or being tied for the lead in that department in the first 3 games. So that's something to keep an eye on.
North Florida up 5. Grant with the pump fake. Gets a little bit of space. Clark kicks it back to him. Fast release from Grant. No good. He hasn't been as on as he was the last time we saw him. Ball taken away from Rotroff, and here comes North Florida into the front court. Hendrickson quickly releases. Boy, he gets a lot of rotation in that shot, doesn't he?
It? Just it comes right off his fingertips. He's got great form.
It's like watching Josh Allen throw a football. He spins it.
69 yards. He did that
Hasn't
after
taken one from that deep yet.
After the ulnar nerve issue. Throws it 69.
Williams goes to work. Rotroff tries to put it back. Bats at it. And North Florida's done a better job underneath the rim here in, say, the last half of this first half so far.
And again, that was one of our keys.
Oh, Abar will try this 3. A shoot one earlier, not this time. And Keith Dambrot wants a timeout. They left him alone on the first chance that he had an open look at a 3, thought better of it, had plenty of time on this one, and nailed it.
Well, he took plenty of time as well. It seemed like it was taking a minute for him to get it off, and he did. And, again, they love the 3. And I don't know if that's a naked 3. Would you call that a naked 3 or partially clothed 3? Or...
SI swimsuit edition.
Thank you, Tim.
Call that a Kathy Ireland 3?
Yeah, I mean, he was wide open when he got the ball, but like I said, he took a second, and Rotroff was able to get down and at least create interference. It made no difference, though.
Well, it was kind of funny hearing Coach Driscoll talk about that. They didn't have a great day in the first half of their most recent game against South Carolina State, and the way it was being spun in the broadcast, I guess, was that South Carolina State was doing a really great job at this, at that, the other thing as far as creating perimeter defense. We were just missing our open shots. One coach looks at it one way, one coach looks at it another way as to why they're doing what they're doing and why the stats are what they are. And, of course, you think your guys should make every one and every miss. That's completely because of the defense, right? So
exactly.
Underneath, nice effort there from Williams. Gracefully done.
I can't believe you said that. I was about to use the word easy. He looks really comfortable this year. We talked a lot about his role last year. They had him as a 5. I think they really like the idea of him not being in that position.
They do, not only because of what it does for the rest of the rotation, but also what it does for his fatigue factor during games. For instance, quick on the steal there.
Right, and last year he was in over 40 minutes in a 40-minute game. I mean, he was always in.
Williams stops the A-10 logo. Thinks better of that move. Grant floats. Yes, Day Grant. Good timeout by Keith Dambrot. Quickly reaping the rewards. Now the drive from Hendrickson, and I think they're going to call a body contact foul on the drive there on Clark.
Well, I tell you, Tim, let me ask you, as you take a look at Day, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I've seen him take 3s. I've seen him drive to the hoop, as we're watching right here with Hendrickson. And That was for naught. Here's Clark 3, who's back in the game. And, I mean, when I look at Grant, he is very comfortable taking it to the rim, very comfortable to mid-range, and very comfortable taking it to third layer, which is outside. It's a pretty complete package. And coming in, he was 14 of 22 from 3. So, again, he's more than comfortable with any of those 3.
Hronsky's in with McGriff right now. And that's a kick there from Hronsky. Grant will be in the backcourt in this look with Rozier. And it's like a foreign concept for us to wrap our brains around, Ellis, as it relates to the ability to have guys who play the 4 who opened up game 1 playing the point. You know,
right.
that's not a tool that Keith Dambrot had in the shed last year.
That's exactly right. And, you know, he's got an experienced group. He did well, at least on its face, and at least this early in the season, rebuilding effectively a whole new lineup.
And they're going to call an offensive foul against Dorian James.
Not sure I saw that.
James has done a nice job in the glass so far in this game. He's already got 4 rebounds, but picks up his first personal on that play.
He was a starter last year, and as I said, they've got a bunch of guys, 5 starters back, only 1 lost, 9 lettermen back. That cohesion I've seen on display here for Purple tonight sometimes has been missing, but not there for Duquesne.
From the free throw line, the bounce pass to Dixon.
One newcomer to another, huh?
Hronsky knew where he was in the soft spot, intelligently delivers the assist. Pull up, fast fire on that, way off target from Oscar Berry. As we approach the 4-minute mark, Duquesne back within 2. Duquesne struggling from outside the arc, only hitting 1 of its last 5 3-point shots. They've been very good off these set plays, have North Florida so far.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's in a break or coming out of a break or not. Again, that's experience.
Placer definitely has the height advantage on Rozier. Plays tough, plays thick.
Mm-hmm.
They really like his leadership as a freshman. That long three-pointer, no good. Rozier underneath the rim. He'll bring it in transition back the other way. Behind the back, pulls up at the A-10 logo, off the front rim. Tips it back out, but Grant pulled back on transition defense. And an attempt at a block from Hronsky comes way off, and then there's Berry for the follow. Placer wanted the foul, didn't get it. They get 2 anyway, and the lead goes back up to 4. Hronsky to the deck, to Grant. He fires. And that's the ball movement
that's the ball. It's a ball movement indeed, and that's also the mid-range shot we've talked about. Again, he'll get rid of it before you can defend him.
And they're going to say Placer warded off. Or no, I take that back. Are they going to call James on that up high with the foul? That's going to be his second, I believe. Yeah, they are going to call that on James. So offensive foul against North Florida with 3:21 left. We'll reset everything for you when we come back on ESPN+. Duke's down a pair to the Ospreys.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line,
this Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible...
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
Cricket is easy, it's affordable.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will...
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will... During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
Treat yourself to something spectacular.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early.
This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible...
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line.
I get the recipe from my grandma.
My grandmother cooked gumbo, and I'm still cooking it.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will... During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
Matt Driscoll, very complimentary of the job that Keith Dambrot is doing here in his hometown of Pittsburgh at the campus of Duquesne University. Driscoll really praising what Keith Dambrot has done with a myriad of times now having to retool through the transfer portal. And he said words to the effect of, in a couple years, he thinks folks at sort of this level, the mid-major level, are going to look back at how Keith Dambrot handled things in the early days of the new Wild Wild West of the transfer portal and say that guy was doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about him in terms of history books. It was very, very interesting and a big tell about what he thinks and respects out of Keith Dambrot.
You talked about Tavian Dunmartin, who transferred to Florida Gulf Coast. How good he was in their conference.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlantic Sun, that they've won 3 times in the regular season, by the way.
Excellent
bounce pass.
Me.
Big dunk from Dixon. And a timeout from Driscoll, who does not like the interior defense that's being shown right now by North Florida.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Tim, because as we're watching this, just guts the fake and look at the pass without looking. I mean, really, the points in the paint are always something we're taking a look at. And, 18-14, so it's been pretty close in that regard, favoring Duquesne. Second chance points favor Duquesne 2-1, 9-4 overall. And points off the turnover is 9-2. So those things jump out to me all in favor of Duquesne. This game has been led by UNF almost in its entirety. As we watch this through, look at this. He gets Henderson up in the air, loses him, and makes the dime.
Yeah, Jaden Parker got an earful from Driscoll after that. And you can see there the communication still going on between Dorian James and Johnny Gleitch, the official. And now he's talking to Hendrickson as well. James playing with the 2 fouls still. And Grant's going to get a foul. Yeah, he was having a hard time, lost the angle quickly on the dribble. Jarius Hicklen, and got the foul in the backcourt.
Yeah, and he got no man's land. You're absolutely right. When he started to tail off there, he doesn't want to just let the guy go free. On the other hand, with that space narrowing and coming in a little bit harsher on the angle, that was the problem that led specifically to that foul.
Like what you're seeing from Dixon tonight?
I can't believe the kid's 19 years old. I can't believe he's 19 years old. I very impressed with him. And, again, that's one of those things when you take a look at this roster and specifically what you mentioned at the outset, the depth and all the good things we've heard about. Now it's being challenged. And as I was saying, that's the type of thing that could create a problem or be an opportunity. And it's been an opportunity for players that are getting time because of those injuries.
He's up to 9-3 right now. Bronski goes to the left along the baseline. Movement to Rozier will try a 3-point shot. That's rebounded by North Florida's Barry. Good move along the baseline to the left for Hendrickson.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Tim. This game has been led almost virtually every second by North Florida without going into the numbers, and they're not intimidated by any stretch of the imagination.
McGriff stops right by the elbow and gets the Dukes back to within 2. Boy, they've gotten into this 4-2 range, back and forth on a few possessions here, Ellis. They can't get back to the game being tied.
It's exactly right. McGriff was getting the start before Reese went down, and they had to make some adjustments.
Hendrickson is up to 7, takes the foul up high from Dixon. And for Dixon, that's going to be his first personal.
Now, that might be a play where you see experience over young. I'm not sure at all that Henderson didn't initiate that, but he definitely sold it as if he was hammered.
Placer was a little upset that he didn't get a call in a 50-50 play, and Hendrickson was not going to leave that to be a 50-50 play. The toss of the head at least got it to 51, 52.
It did, again. Guy's got to know how to play, and this kid does.
Yeah, Hendrickson is a good free throw shooter, 78% on the season.
And that's with opportunities. Matter of fact, he came in as the leader getting to the stripe 14 times. 11 conversions. Again, that rotation you talked about, I hope it's coming across over the air because it's just nuts looking at it.
Now Brewer trying to get away from the zone. McGriff takes the outside shot. Rebound batted around, batted up towards the glass, and now taken away by Placer. We'll talk about the zone that Keith Dambrot wanted to use. He hasn't gotten into the 2-3 as much as he was discussing before the season due to limited practice time, some matchup things, and that's playing the 2-3 zone is something that doesn't look that good if you don't do it a lot. And I don't think he's felt comfortable enough with their ability to practice it. And there's a travel, so forget that basket from Placer. Like for instance, you said, well, I wasn't going to use it against Colgate after what they did to Syracuse.
Yeah, right.
Why would I do that?
Right.
And they haven't had a lot of practice time, as you see the travel.
Yep, took the extra.
Grant playing defense. So I think he would like to spot it in. I think he would like to implement it. But again, you want those 10 fouls underneath to give away from your big men that you don't have right now, at least 5 with Reese not being able to play. And then whatever Gunn gives you, too. Vronsky, hard off the window. But a soft touch.
Well, he just plays. He doesn't. It looks like he's been here forever. I mean, he came to the United States as a relatively young teenager to play basketball. I think is he Slovenian?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he may be the first Slovenian.
Slovakia. Sorry.
Slovakia.
Sorry. And now McGriff penetrates to Vronsky from the corner, and that gives Duquesne a lead. Boy, they've been trying forever to get over that margin of 4 and 2, and now they're up 1 with North Florida having the last possession here in the first half.
Well, he may be Duquesne's favorite Slovakian basketball player at this point.
Or Slovenian.
What's that?
Or Slovenian.
Oh, right. We've gone back and forth on that.
Rotroff gets up, and that's going to be a foul. They're going to call that on Rotroff, or they're going to give it to Toronsky. I think they're going to give it to Toronsky. And with 1 second left, 1.6 seconds left, North Florida will have a chance to go in the locker room either tied or with the lead with the free throws.
Well, you got to love Hicklen. He was going to take that last shot no matter what. His free throws coming in, and I don't know what his latest is. If you have it, but he came in 83%, 10 out of 12 from the stripe.
He's up to 13 points right now, leading the way for the Ospreys.
I like this kid a lot.
And that one touched every part of the rim before it goes down. Last second opportunity for McGriff, who fires from half court. That'll miss the mark. So serve and volley basketball throughout the first half between the Ospreys and the Dukes. 1 point advantage for North Florida going into the locker room.
He has as a head coach and get out of basketball. I'll run his campaign for mayor. Ed Gainey will understand, the current mayor.
Make the Osprey the official bird of Pittsburgh. For a while it was the Pigeons at Acrisure Stadium, but they didn't show up. At least not yesterday, but then again, neither did the offense in the second half.
Right.
We'll see who shows up with offense here in the second half for Duquesne and North Florida.
Which, by the way, doesn't use a lot of players.
No, they use about 8.
I know, but Driscoll said I'm not one of those guys that's going to just, put guys in, let them get experience. All that it goes with his 8.
Likes to hang with the same starting lineup as long as he can. As Trey Williams goes off the window and good. Boy, we talked a lot in the first half about the set plays, the touches, the possessions out of timeouts, and for the first possession for the Dukes, they cash in with a potential 2-1.
Nice, strong finish. Nice, strong finish. I want to emphasize that. Sometimes they can get a little floaty with Trey, but right there, he just took it straight to the rack.
And Williams finishes it off.
It's an old school 3.
For Williams, he's up to 6 points now. Screen up high. See what Hicklen can do with it. He had a great first half. Drive instead. Ooh, excellent finish. Ooh. Chaz Lanier with the right hand.
I said Lanier, as I said, he was a letterman last year, and the kid out of Nashville.
Into the corner. Clark thinks about it. No good. Lanier takes the high rebound back for North Florida. Now Grant comes out high to watch Lanier. Has the screen. Grant gets away from it. Hendrickson guarded by Williams, goes behind the back.
He's gone.
To Placer, goes way high off the backboard, then almost sat on top of the backboard.
The backboard's getting a lot of attention in the shot selection. And also we saw defensively there was an attempt by a Duquesne player to basically Horonsky defend it by slamming both hands on the backboard.
Placer has 4. Brewer tries to float. A follow from Rochoff doesn't go down. So Rochoff getting some burn to start here in the second. And they're going to call foul. Was that a trip, or are they saying they kicked the ball? It's a trip there, right?
I mean, it's going to be interesting because I'm not so sure.
I
don't think it was a trip in the active sense. He stepped on his foot.
Clark was the one that got the foul, and that's his third.
Jimmy Clark 3 goes by Trey.
He's got 5 points in the game. Placer gets around Brewer, runs into Rotroff, though.
Wow.
Now out of control, and they're going to call a travel.
He literally dribbled himself into the earth.
Good defense by Brewer to stay with him the whole time.
Absolutely.
Make it difficult on him.
Right. He did stay with him. Good call, Tim.
Brewer, they talk about his low center of gravity. He can get into guys trying to, with the dribble penetration, to get by him like that. That was something that Keith Dambrot brought up in the offseason.
I just saw less and less of the upper torso plus air.
Grant got Hendrickson in the air and pays it off. Day Grant ties it up for the Duquesne Dukes. For Day, that's 11 now.
Along with 4 assists, a couple of rebounds.
Hendrickson with a mismatch here up high, but they're going to call a walk. Took too many steps, and now he's limping a little bit going over towards the bench for North Florida.
See what happens here. Yeah, you got Hendrickson. Looked like he might have extended that right knee just for a second.
He's still gimpy coming up the court. All right, Duquesne trying to take the lead. Had it for a brief possession when Horonsky hit the 3. But then North Florida went back in front before halftime as Rotroff goes up strong and gets fouled.
It did go up strong. Gonna watch right here with Clark putting it on him.
Rotroff going to the free throw line.
It's going to be a tough matchup for the 6'1" guard to go against Rotroff, who, by the way, was another player singled out by Driscoll. I mean, he talked about when he is in the lineup, X happens. When he's not in the lineup, you get Y. And, you know, that he's been around for a long time, as I said, and he's had his injuries and so forth. But that really stuck out to me, how emphatically Coach Driscoll referenced that.
Rotroff, a 71% free throw shooter, doesn't get either one to fall, though. And through traffic, three-pointer goes up. Rotroff makes amends on the other end with the rebound after the miss from Hicklen. Trey Williams working hard to get position down low, guarded by a taller player in Jaden Parker. Uses the right hand baby hook and gives the Dukes the lead.
Soft hands right there. Rotroff, by the way, coming in averaging 7.3 rebounds a game. And that is by far, by double the leading
they're going to call a foul here on Brewer, who reached in across the arms of Hicklen. Actually, they're going to call Clark.
Yeah, and Clark was befuddled and not amused. And actually, he's coming out of the game right now. When Clark was moving away as if he wasn't very happy, we saw Trey Williams go get him and settle him down.
Yeah, that's the 4th one on Clark. So now the depth tested
again
when it comes to the backcourt some. And that's a tough shot and a tough basket from Parker.
And that was really as a result of not just good footwork and positioning, but ultimately those long arms you referenced 2 or 3 minutes into the game, Tim.
They get a little bit bigger right now to the Dukes with Horonsky in there instead of Clark. One big man to the other. Rochoff to Williams. Didn't quite have the angle on that one. Went a little too far with the right hand. Placer trying to get away from Brewer and finds his man underneath. That's Dorian James. His second basket of the evening.
Perfect pass, and second of all, again, gets it and just goes straight up. That the level of experience here is not to be understated, and not complicating things by UNF and their players is not to be understated.
Rochoff kicks it out, couldn't get by Placer, didn't buy the fake. Attempted layup from Brewer, no good. I thought that went over the rim. Ball still alive, though. Getting knocked around. Rochoff picks it up, extended possession for Duquesne. Brewer to Rochoff. And one, Austin Rochoff. Kind of got stuck in between. I think he was thinking dunk. He goes to the layup, and he ties the game up again.
And in the process, he gets the hack, so he has a chance once again.
Austin Rochoff. See if he can get this free throw to fall when we come back. 15:05 left to go. We're locked up at 51s at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse.
But short on space? Now there's no reason that you can't be the party house with Leon's Billiards and More convenient space savers. Our versatile dining top pool tables and buffet top shuffleboards allow you to dine first and play after. We can fill all your entertainment needs with game tables, bars, furniture, and more. Professional installation and financing options available. Leon's Billiards and More, bringing family and friends together for over 30 years.
Nursing school doesn't really teach you to become an ICU nurse. Like, you have to have a special talent to understand patients who are not able to express themselves. Just little clues that the body gives you and the patient gives you that just help. Who they are and what they want is extremely important to me.
As Western Pennsylvania's largest regional public accounting firm with local ownership and management, Schneider Downs gives you the global ideas your company needs right here at home. Schneider Downs. Big thinking, personal focus.
Find it, try it, paint it, love it. 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 Find it, try it, paint it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Game. It feels like it's been a tug of war for the better part of, what would you say, Ellis, dating back to the early moments of the first half.
Oh, easy. I'll find a note that suggests that the lead was, I think, at one point in the first half, almost 9 minutes for North Florida versus 32 seconds. And yet, I'm looking at these numbers with North Florida, Tim. They're shooting lights out. I mean, they're 38-5 from three, and they're 63-3 from the field. We talked about them looking like they have played here forever. To put that into perspective, their field goal percentage coming in was 36%. You know, they're at 60-something now.
And it's funny, I think if you had said to Keith Dambrot, you're going to be at 51 points at the 15:05 mark, you're going to be shooting 46% from the floor, he probably would have taken that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he would have had the Ospreys at 63% from the field.
Right. Well, the three ball's not falling.
And winning the rebounding battle, too.
Right. That's
slight though that may be.
No, but still, I think it's, rebounding is about obviously execution, but it's about want as well.
Brewer thought he was being warded off with the forearm. For Brewer, that's going to be his first. Now that three is hoisted up. No good. Rebound battled for, pulled down by Abar. Was taken away by Duquesne. Duquesne out in front by one after the free throw from Rochoff. Day Grant adds to the lead with a three.
Well, I knew there was a word I was thinking about. Spurtability. That's another thing that we heard Coach Driscoll talk about. Their ability to just come Duquesne in waves and score quickly Obviously, they had 2 big leads against Colgate. They evaporated, and then they happened again.
What an answer from Placer. Placer with the 3-point shot, and all of a sudden North Florida gets back to within 1. And boy, Duquesne just can't get any distance. A couple times they've had the lead. North Florida comes right back with something, and there's a foul underneath. See some substitutions coming in as Hendrickson re-enters. Barry comes back in. Brewer goes out.
You know, Placer played at UMBC. We called a game. Dukes.
We did, yes. I don't know how long ago that was.
May have been in the travel years for the home game.
Yeah, it may have been LaRoche.
All right.
Now Horonsky over to Rozier. He looks for Dixon. Kicking it back outside to Grant. Horonsky gets his man up. He'll drive. He'll lay it up with the right hand. No good. The follow from Williams is no good. Boy, kind of rushed that follow. And now the Ospreys coming back trying to take the lead. Placer will do so.
Well, that was gorgeous. Came up, pulled up. Time stopped. Time stopped. And he just got up in the air, and that was gorgeous.
Placer was pretty quiet in the first half. Now he's up to 10 here in the second half with back-to-back threes.
Tied for second coming in at 12.3 points a game.
And a foul on the floor as Grant was making a move to the baseline. That's going to go against Barry.
Didn't it look like time stood still? It really did. I mean, everything kept moving past him, and he literally just got up in the air, and it was him and nobody except the rim.
Trey Williams, the pass to Grant. Takes a big step underneath to Dixon with the reverse lay-in. Well, it's the second or third time Grant has used that pass, cutting across the paint. Kind of a Euro step pass, if you will, and it's been effective. Foul underneath, though, as Hicklen continues to imprint this basketball game. He's still the leading scorer on the night for North Florida. Grant's up to 14 to match him for Duquesne, and it's going to be Grant that gets the foul here. And that is his second. First free throw good.
You know, the thing about Hicklen, Tim, I don't know if we've talked enough about this, but he came into the game their leading assist guy, which is one big reason I said I was going to be interested in how he would match up with the Duquesne guards, Day and so forth.
Hicklen, an 83% free throw guy. And now it's 59 to 57. North Florida with the 2-point lead. Approaching the 13-minute mark. A little token pressure up front there from Chaz Lanier. Now they're in a 1-3-1. Grant trying to probe and figure that out. Horonsky will give it right back to Grant. Duquesne using, I think very nicely, Ellis, as Grant polishes it off in mid-thought. The up fakes have gotten UNF up a bunch.
Yeah,
a quick three back the other way from Barry. But if you notice that, like every time they've gotten an up fake, a man is bought for North Florida, and it's allowed the offense to continue flowing.
Absolutely right.
Grant, another three!
And frankly, that, what you just described, has been happening almost from the beginning of the game.
All day, and Duquesne up 62 to 59. Hendrickson with the drive. Good help from Austin Rotroff. Hendrickson from way outside spins it in.
He knew that, and he's letting everybody know that he knew that.
And we're tied up again at 62.
This is good. This is real good. Get a feeling you know that Horonsky played in Europe the way he plays. Look,
and now underneath to Rotroff, a little bit of a late whistle, but yep, there's the foul. And it goes out of bounds. And we'll be back with Duquesne in possession, 62 to 62. A tie game. Day Grant feeling it again at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse.
Depression feels like a never-ending.
My anxiety was debilitating. You're just like sitting there.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history.
Pretty soon
This whole place will feel like home.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible.
My anxiety was debilitating. You're just like sitting there.
Anxiety is a lot of worry.
Depression feels like a never-ending.
Formula One cars are like aircraft but upside down. They're creating lift.
My anxiety was debilitating. You're just like sitting there.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line.
During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line. Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will. During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
RG3 putting on an absolute show here against Aubie in the Nissan Heisman House.
Day Grant with 19 points and 5 assists to lead the Dukes right now in both categories. They're leaning into him, and that's something that Coach Driscoll expected to see.
Oh, yeah, he talked again about him being one of those players that makes a difference in a program. And, I mean, he said it emphatically, and he was referencing names from around the country that we all know as we look at North Florida come back out to the court, and Placer, who's made his presence felt in the last several minutes as well with those 2 threes.
Entry to Dixon, leans back, that's way off. Rotroff tried to tap it to keep it alive, but to no avail. North Florida back the other way. Action under the under 12 timeout, out of the way. Now Rozier will try to lock up on Placer. Placer drives, kicks it out, intercepted by Grant.
Again, he ran himself out of that play again.
Oh, good hands up top, though, by Chaz Lanier.
I mean, by the time I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to kick the ball out, but by driving it as long as he did, he ran out of space, out of room, and allowed that hole to go away. He's getting the pool right now.
Now, Duquesne knows what it's like to be challenged in the second half. Not only did they play Kentucky, of course. Kentucky had the lead comfortably there as Dixon feels the contact, misses the shot. But Colgate really came back strong against them after a 17-point lead for the Dukes. And they had to execute down the stretch. Dixon swings wildly for the block, and it's easily followed up for a basket from James.
Now, this being a little ambitious right there, but it left the back door open.
Yeah, kind of ran himself out of position trying to get the big block. A lot of substitutions coming in. Bronski will attempt a three-pointer. That's no good. Tap towards the Duquesne bench and out of bounds off of one of the Ospreys. That's Hendrickson. We'll see Williams come back in. We will see Brewer come back in, and we'll see McGriff re-enter too.
Yeah, Hendrickson is talking right now to his teammate Hicklen, and they both were in the same space trying to get to the ball. And I actually thought that it was Hendrickson who knocked it off of Hicklen.
Williams with the spin. Can't get anything going. Re-entry to Williams from Grant. Now he tries to get a little bit of space, creates the body contact. One-armed rebound by Rotroff and a foul. Rotroff and Williams both working hard in the paint on that possession.
Tim, I thought that Williams could have kicked that out and perhaps should have kicked it out as I was watching, but I'll tell you one thing, man. That dude was fighting. He was fighting down there.
Grant thought about it from way outside, takes the line drive three anyway. Second thought from Day Grant, just as good as the first, and Duquesne leads by one.
No fear at all.
Rebound by Williams. Hicklen was 16 on the game, but misses that one. Williams to the pick. He rolls. Batted away, though. Right to Rotroff. Gives it back to Brewer. He's got space. He's got time. Three-pointer halfway down. Fighting for it on the floor is Rotroff. Now in transition. Here come the Ospreys. Quickness mismatch up high for Hicklen on Rotroff. Will he use it? Rotroff moving the feet. And there's the kick out to the three-point shooter, Oscar Berry. And a rebound by Grant and a foul by Berry. Boy, Hicklen set up that mismatch, got the wheels turning on Rotroff, got him to move back and decided to kick it back when he had some room to maneuver and gave it to Berry, who couldn't hit the three, and then picks up the foul.
And Hicklen, you could tell he was very much trying to pull out Rotroff and get him going on his skates, backwards, so to speak, and didn't exactly unfold that way. So give credit to Rotroff for hanging in there. It could have been, that was a matchup favoring Florida.
Grant makes the first free throw. Day on the season has been very good from the stripe, 92.3%, playing 27 minutes a game. Already above his season average of 16.5 points. That was his 20th on the free throw. And Day delivers again. Actually, I take that back. He's up to 23 now, Ellis.
Oh.
Forgot the previous three. They're all running together.
You know, he's as I said, you could see the poise, you could see the overall maturity in his game.
Duquesne a little bit of a 1-3-1 look, and McGriff got a clean strip on the way up, but then touched the ball out of bounds, so the possession remains with the Ospreys.
He's played a lot of basketball, is what I'm saying. He's played a lot of basketball, Day Grant, and at a high level.
And you could hear that in the compliments that were paid to him from Matthew Driscoll.
Emphatically.
Entry to A-Bar, buried at 3 in the first half. That's probably the high point of the momentum for North Florida. Placer lost it, though, in the paint. McGriff comes away with it. He'll push it into the corner. Brewer. Kick it to Grant.
Wow.
Sling it over the far side. McGriff. Yes! Day Grant with his 6th assist to go along with now 24 points for Grant. And he is doing it in all dimensions.
And I tell you what, I just saw him yelling to nobody in particular. He got as much satisfaction out of that assist as he does the points, and that's what you want to see.
Duquesne, after that one, up by 6 over North Florida.
At Duquesne, it's our joy to help you discover what you're good at and why that's good for the world. We want you to become a problem solver who thinks bigger, who is driven by compassion and empathy. Together, we will work towards achieving your goals and a greater sense of purpose. We're ready with an education that's everything you need and more than you imagined. It's time for bigger goals. Duquesne University.
Every school teaches the basics, gives out homework, and prepares students for life. But at the Summit Academy, we hold ourselves to a higher goal. We ask more, instill a deeper sense of pride, and challenge students to achieve the kind of success that they never imagined possible. If you have the passion to change lives, we are currently hiring teachers, drug and alcohol counselors, and therapists. The Summit Academy. Join us and make a difference.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. Zero compromise.
As Western Pennsylvania's largest regional public accounting firm with local ownership and management, Schneider Downs gives you the global ideas your company needs right here at home. Schneider Downs. Big thinking, personal focus.
Can you imagine if your kid was in here fighting for their life or going through what they're going through? You know, we gotta kind of leave our stuff at the door and remember why we're doing this. At UPMC, we're changing people's days with what we do. That means everything.
You see the score, and Day Grant has been the story with 24 points, 4 of 9 from the outside, 9 of 15 overall. 3 players in double figures right now for the Ospreys of North Florida. For the leading scorer, Hicklen, he's got 16 on 4 of 8 shooting. Hendrickson is at 12, and Placer has 10 points for North Florida. They've got 9 points off the bench so far from Abar and Barry. And now a little full court pressure here from Duquesne. And one thing that Keith Dambrot wanted to do, and we haven't seen quite as much of it, and maybe it's because of game flow more than anything else, but he wanted to try to speed up North Florida in the front court by making them a little bit edgy in the back court.
Yep.
That was the thinking. We just haven't seen as much of the pressure influence this game as we saw, for instance, against Montana in game 1. Well, there I think Hendrickson started moving a little bit quickly on that hook as he missed everything.
Yeah, he was moving and didn't really have position.
Dixon with a man all over him, can't come up with that catch cleanly. Abar was on his back defensively. Tap down to Abar here at the offensive end. All by himself, that 3 well off the mark. Good rebound though by Hendrickson. Unfortunately for him though, he came down on the end line. Possession goes over to the Dukes at the 8-minute mark. And we're going to step away for a media timeout with Duquesne up 70-64. We'll come back for the final 8 minutes when we return. Tim Benz, Ellis Cannon with you, brought to you by Cordia, creating energy solutions. More Duquesne basketball when we come back.
Treat yourself to something spectacular. Get
Formula One cars are like aircraft but upside down. They're creating lift.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love custom.
What makes for a great story? A great story has
This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible.
Each year, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital works to improve the.
treat yourself to something spectacular. Treat yourself to something spectacular.
I'm gonna work you like a rented mule, brother.
During Walmart's Black Friday Deals for Days, every Monday is a huge deal.
Each year, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital works to improve the.
Custom shirts help people feel like they're part of a team. My name is Timothy Chi, and I'm the CEO of.
During Walmart's Black Friday Deals for Days, every Monday is a huge deal.
Feels like a change is coming.
It's Walmart's Black Friday Deals for Days. Every Monday, huge deals will.
Who blinks first? Visit theheismanhouse.com and see if it's you.
See the 6-point lead for Duquesne, largely manufactured by a 23-2 margin. That's what we're being given right now in terms of points off turnovers. They officially, Ellis, and admittedly some of the stats have been wonky today. We've had some outages here at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse when it comes to the stat information, but Duquesne has only been tagged from what we've been able to glean so far with 4 turnovers to 15 for UNF.
I mean, that's remarkable. And when you take a look at how that lines up coming into the game, turnovers is something that North Florida was averaging 13. So they've already exceeded that. Another interesting note is that Duquesne has 20 assists. And that's that ball movement we've been talking so much about.
Dixon off a deflected pass. McGriff to the deck, down to 6 on the shot clock. He wants to get one more pass off. Dixon has to hurry. Williams is going to have to try 3, and that's way off. And North Florida with a good defensive possession there.
Tell you, Tim, when we talk about ball movement, I'm not talking about a guard just making a nice pass. I'm talking about several passes and players in position to catch and do something with it immediately. This is very advanced from last year.
Placer, the feed, and the dunk from Abar. and it's 70-66. So North Florida won't go away. We talked about the inability for either team to really stretch that dramatically of a lead.
And I'll tell you, Tim, as we're looking right here, Brewer trying to get something going himself. And, of course, he does with assists, but he scores. And so this hasn't been, I don't believe, what we had seen in his previous game when he came back. But nonetheless, it's good to have him out there.
Dixon tries for the dunk and the foul, but can't finish it off. That would have brought the house down. We'll take another gander at it as see Trey Williams with another good pass. He's got 4 assists already. You talked about the assist total. He's got 4. Day Grant has 6 to lead the way.
That 9 out of 15 sounds about right when you look at Grant's shooting. He's taken a good number of shots, but as I said, he's like an NFL cornerback, at least a good one. He lets the Mr. 2 go away.
Dixon hits the first one.
Getting minutes from Horonsky tonight as well, Tim. 15, that jumps out.
Dixon 58% on the season thus far for Duquesne. Austin Rotroff set to come back in for the Dukes. Down to 6.5. Williams and Abar collide. Corner 3 is hit. Chaz Lanier.
Chaz came in averaging less than 3.
He's now up to 8 with 6 rebounds and 2 assists.
Thank you, Tim. I mean, he came in literally 1 out of 10.
Kicking it into the corner. Now Day Grant throws it out high to Brewer. Feed it into Dixon. Patient possession by the Dukes. McGriff has it at 7. Bounce it down low to Williams for the dunk. Oh, McGriff's done that a couple times tonight.
He certainly has.
He's been really good at the end of possessions, coming up with one last pass to get a good quality shot. Credit him for that. McGriff with 3 assists tonight. But a good response at the other end from Hicklen.
And
he's up to 19.
He's up to 19 again. He's a money player, and I should point out that, he came in averaging, he has 6 total assists, McGriff. You say he's got 3 tonight, and I don't know if he's looked at any of the passes he's thrown.
Williams setting up. He's at the right elbow. He goes to the dribble, gives it to Dixon. Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a double dribble or a walk. It was going to be something, as Dixon didn't really have it cleanly and put it down on the floor for the turnover. We talked about how good of a job they've been doing. That's just their 5th with 5 minutes left to go.
And Brewer has been quiet tonight. 2 points, 3 assists. I think they've managed his time a little bit tonight, too.
Clark only has 19 minutes because he's been in foul trouble with 4. And as soon as I say that, he's about to come back in. And it looks like, Hendrickson out of bounds. Second time he's done that, just not quite aware where he was near the end line as he tried to make a save previously. This time it was just a matter of standing still and being on that end line around the S and Dukes. The turnover in the baseline. Now Rozier will handle the point. The freshman with under 5 left to go. They trust him in this position. Maybe trying to buy some time before the under 4 and perhaps put Brewer back in. Nonetheless, important minutes for Rozier. He blows by, now gives it to Hronsky. Shot no good, rebound Grant. He floats, no good, rebound by North Florida, and there's a foul. Not sure if they're going to call the rake across the face on Grant. Yeah, that's who they're going to get. And for Day, I think that's his 3rd.
I'm watching Hendrickson and one of the officials here, and no one likes to get hit like that in the face, and specifically across the nose. He reacted, and now he's smiling about it. So,
Day Grant has made 5 of his last 6 shots before that one, 3 of his last 4 3-pointers.
Should point out that's he's now reached 20 plus 3 times this year.
North Florida heating back up as they're back within 1 now because they've hit 3 of their last 4 shots. And now James gives it back to the hot man on the evening, Hicklen. Let's see how hot he is. That's pretty hot.
That's pretty warm.
As it gives North Florida the lead. 75-73. Boy, North Florida, we talked about how they were sticking close when Duquesne mounted the lead, but it never got out to a 3-possession advantage.
Nope.
Now they've got a 1-possession advantage. Rochoff at the left elbow. Rozier with the pump fake, the pull-up, the shot, the 2 points.
And once again, he lost a defender. You've talked about this before, about whether it's the jump or whether it's just the move. He lost Hendrickson and had the clean shot.
That's kind of a fundamental basic thing, but Duquesne has done it really well tonight.
Yep.
The ball fakes have gotten the players moving for North Florida. And with 3:22 left, we get a foul. And we'll take our last media timeout, brought to you by Cordia here at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse. 75 apiece, 3:22 left. Cordia creating energy solutions. More Duquesne basketball to come when we come back.
This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will.
The refrigerator is Greg's happy place.
My kids eat, but I finally.
It's Walmart's Black Friday deals for days. Every Monday, huge deals will. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible.
The refrigerator is Greg's happy place.
My kids eat, but I finally.
During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
With DirecTV, I can get live TV and on demand together. Football, housewives.
This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line,
there's never been a better time to get away.
This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible. This Thanksgiving, get the same incredible feast for the same incredible.
I get the recipe from my grandma.
My grandmother cooked gumbo, and I'm still cooking it.
The refrigerator is Greg's happy place.
My kids eat, but I finally.
During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, every Monday is a huge deal.
The refrigerator is Greg's happy place.
My kids eat, but I finally.
As we return, Placer makes the first free throw to give North Florida a 1-point lead. Hicklen has been the story, though, offensively, for the Ospreys.
Yeah, he's over 20, and he's made some money shots while he's at it. And I tell you the truth, one thing, again, is doesn't get enough notice is that he's the leading assist guy on this team. So when he's not shooting it, he's getting it to people who can.
Grant to Rochoff, dump it down low to Williams. Uses the left shoulder and rolls it in. And Duquesne goes back in front by 1.
Boy, Keith is exercised over there. Something they think he saw. Thought he got hacked.
James works his way into the paint against Rochoff. He'll go with the right hand off the window for 2.
James,
he's up to 8.
He started 30 times last year out of 30 opportunities and averaged about 5 points a game. Not starting now, but providing valuable minutes.
Over to Brewer. Can't get away from Hicklen. He stays on his feet for the ball fake. Imagine this being schooled on the sidelines. It's become such a weapon for Duquesne. Brewer to the hop step. Throws up the runner. Rochoff, offensive rebound, off the back rim and good. Duquesne back in front by 1. By the way, Hicklen, his career high 31 points against Southwestern Oklahoma on the 21st of February and against Liberty as well.
He's a good-looking ball player.
Now Hicklen can't get away from the double team. Williams comes up high on Hendrickson. He's going to get a foul tagged to him on the dribble drive by Hendrickson.
Well, I mean, that play was effectively made by, we're going to see the end here, and the foul that was called, but that play was made by Hicklen, who, as you said, he drew that double team toward him, and then he was able to kick it out. Kick it over in this case.
Day Grant's career high, 28 points. He's at 24 right now. That's what he had in the last game. And the first free throw is good. Day with 24 on 7 of 12, shooting with 5 threes against Colgate. Now looking to break the tie, it's Hendrickson. And he makes it. Talked about him, good free throw shooter, mentioned that already. And
yep.
Now gives North Florida a 1-point advantage again.
You know, Tim, this assist thing is really jumping out at me, and we'll see if it's going to benefit Duquesne all the way to the end of this game. But they are up to 22. They're much better in that department than last year, albeit early.
Oh, Williams didn't see a wide-open Rotroff who flashed his way to the rim. The crowd was yelling for the pass. Rotroff gets it down low to Williams with 6 on the shot clock. Goes short on that one, and it's knocked away by North Florida. Didn't have it in the legs on that left-hander from Williams.
Good point, Tim.
Approaching the 1-minute mark. Placer with 13 on the shot clock. Well, that one got knocked away. Good defense out high, but Grant lost it in transition. And Grant wanted the foul, does not get the foul. Clark asked for one from Bart Lennox on the way by. There's the deflection from Clark, and it was a hip from Hendrickson that knocked Grant out of bounds. But the officials didn't see it that way.
No, and in fact, it was right directly in front of us.
And Keith Dambrot is beside himself.
Hendrickson tried to extend a helping hand for Day.
As he was turning with his hips, he made sure that his hips made contact.
Well, he did earlier. Remember we talked about his experience when he drew a foul, we thought.
Time for another big defensive stand for Duquesne. As the three-pointer is no good, Grant comes up with it and does get the foul this time on James. Grant to the free throw line at 92.3%, down by a point with 39.4 left to go.
And James is might confused as to how he got the foul there, and I'm not sure I disagree with him.
If that was a close call, it was going
towards
Grant after this one.
After what we just saw, yeah. Yeah, you know, Hendrickson is a sly guy. We've seen that 2 or 3 times tonight. (17-6) turnovers. That's been a killer for North Florida. That's gotten in the way of them extending a lead a few times.
Boy, it's something else to see just 2 points off turnovers for a team that's shooting in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And Grant makes the first to tie it. I should apologize. It's 58.3, but it's been in the 60s pretty much the whole game for North Florida.
Now you got to be held accountable for that. 2%. No, you're right.
Grant makes the second one. And Duquesne gets the 1-point advantage back. Day Grant up to 26. We'll keep it here during this timeout, Ellis.
Yeah, and, you know, we may or may not have mentioned that this is where we're going to be spending the holidays, Tim. Duquesne has a 9-game homestand. That would be 9. I think we're going to work more in the next month calling games than we will January, February, and March combined.
Yeah, and we're going to get some help. I know Josh Taylor is going to be here for a game or two.
Right.
Alex is going to pinch hit for us. I'm going to pinch hit for Alex here and there.
That's how it works.
There's a lot of games to be played here at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse, and they're getting the most out of this building.
That is a run, Tim. We should bring sleeping bags.
Yeah, the conference season starts, with Rhode Island? No, Dayton. Wednesday at Dayton on the 28th of December.
Right.
And the first home game is New Year's Eve against Rhode Island here for the conference season.
As I look at Rotroff's shoes, which have the Rhode Island look, see that? Nice.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
All right, 33 to work with for North Florida. This is the man that's done the damage, Hicklen. Now Hendrickson who's done a nice job tonight for the Ospreys as well. Lost the dribble momentarily, forces one up, batted around, comes back out to the three-point arc. 15 on the shot clock in the game clock, and one for Hicklen.
You talk about the sequence. You've mentioned that word a couple of different times, and it was on display right there. Thought Hendrickson had it going his way. Right there, no. Good tap. Good tap.
And he splits the double team, knifes his way through the paint, and gets the basket.
Was that James who got that? Oh.
Free throw, no good. So 24 points now for Hicklen. That was a big one he left on the table, though.
No doubt.
Now it goes over into the corner to Williams. Just 4 seconds left. Penetration shot is good! The shot goes from Brewer with 0.3 left, and Duquesne is up by 1. Brewer, just his second field goal of the game, but it was huge. That's why they got the point guard in big moments like that.
And man, Tim, he was able to stop time again. He got his way, made space, had space, and just